Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's so much better than
I
being
thought
your
maybe
client.
you'd appreciate me starting first this time around. All right.
Hi.
Hi, Misha. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
I think because there's been a lot going on this week.
So yeah, it sounds like there have been some exciting things. What's going
Yeah,
on?
I just had my birthday, so there's
Happy
some...
birthday.
Thank you.
How did you celebrate? What did you do?
Well, I went to Boston and, spent time with my daughters, which I always love to do. It is just great. Saw my little dog again, which is wonderful. Mr. Max is there.
So he's not coming home. He didn't come home with you.
Nope, not this time. He's
Okay.
going to stay. He's had a little injury,
Oh, no.
so he's been rehabilitating. They've been walking him a little differently, so he'll strengthen his back leg and so forth. So, yeah, he's in good hands. He gets spoiled a whole lot.
Do you miss him?
I do. As you get older, particularly, pets are so important in terms of even in sound healing. Cats purr, and that sound has been researched actually. Whatever they call it, the frequencies, the decibels, and so forth, and how comforting and healing those sounds are. So
Interesting.
yeah, and there are 2 kitties there, so Max gets practice, learning how to do kitty stuff, and
That's really
vice
cute.
versa. Yeah.
I can picture that.
Yeah.
So what was it like being with your girls?
Well, it's good. It's always fun, but there's a lot going on in the background because of just, working with them, and my oldest daughter's going to be involved in some of this filming and so forth. But it's always good to be with them. It's great to come home again too and have my own space. So, a combination of things, lots of different emotions going on.
So what was their birthday present for you?
Oh my goodness. Well, a lot of little things. But one of the biggest things that happened was I've been living in a basement apartment, and it, although I've learned to adjust somewhat, and there are things about that still that aren't ideal. And when I went out to California, a couple of years ago, I put my house up for sale and thought I was going to be living out there. And my daughter actually the youngest ended up coming out here. So what's coming up for me now is this whole business of being able to get back into my own space again. So my 2 daughters got it into their heads that we could figure out a way for me to do that if we did some remodeling. So I've only done like 9,000, 100 billion, zillion remodelings of this house in the last 17 years. So my first impulse was, here we go again. And that's all related then to tenants and the pressure of finding tenants and tenant issues and all of that.
And financially, does it feel like something that is good?
Yes and no, because financially it might mean instead of 4 tenants, I might have to drop down to 2 or 3. If I put in another kitchen, then that increases the utilities. And then that means, do we share them? Am I going to have enough income? The real issue behind this is independence, though.
Oh, that's the issue, huh?
Yeah, because what this means for me is for the next 10 years, I could really have my home back. And there's a fear of getting older and losing your freedom to choose. And what that means is not that my daughters don't love me to pieces and would do anything for me and have helped me tremendously. But what that means is if I let go of my own independence and ability to provide for myself, I don't have enough income to survive on my own. So that means moving in with relatives or being placed someplace that I don't necessarily want to be. And so that fear comes up. And it's, as I've said, interrelated to a lot of different things.
Yeah. So the independence piece, how has it felt up until this time when you've thought about the future?
It's interesting because it's related, what I'm touching on now is that it's related to growing old. And part of that has to do with the security of the home and the finances and so forth, first and second chakras. But what I think I am still really working on is this whole business of growing old and still having a purpose in life, getting up every day, having my life being meaningful. And in terms of relationships, I have put my personal life on hold. And as a practitioner, it's allowed me to have intimacy without giving up anything in return. Now that's as honest as I can get. So what is that all about, really?
Well, it does sound like first and second chakra. It sounds like ability to receive, give, could be around boundaries. Don't really, I mean, it's about your sense of self, and your will to be your strong self. And I really get that about you. So it's how to root your will into your second chakra where there's more space for giving and receiving, maybe?
Yeah.